when I first did the Forest Temple, it was completely bugged and I could not complete it the intended way. The Forest Temple is bugged for you as well, or if you have any problems beating the Forest Temple, don't worry guys, I'm here to help. I will show you how to beat the Forest Temple the intended way, and I will show you how to beat it if the Forest Temple is bugged, because it is still possible to beat it if it is bugged. It becomes a bit difficult, but yeah. Also ignore all the different super cool abilities that I'm using right now. I'm coming back here after beating the game. For all the other dungeons, I didn't do this, but for this one, I'm going back after beating the game. All the other dungeon videos I'm doing is my first playthrough of the dungeon, so I can show you what all my thoughts are in real time. Anyway, for this second playthrough, to show you what's going on, I'm gonna show you the intended way, and I'm also gonna make a note if something is gonna be different if the dungeon is bugged. But even if the dungeon is bugged, most of the intended way should still work at least. So you come in here first, go up here. You can either use the bouncing thing down there, or you can use the tree. Use either to get up here, or you will use a sonic bouncer to get up here. You're gonna get shot at by a red boo through the grate. For some reason, I don't like those. I also want to mention that this dungeon is, in my opinion, the most difficult dungeon. And it's also the most dungeon prone to bugs. Like, this dungeon can very easily bug out. And that's really sad. So first off, I want to hit that button over there. Go on that chakra, hit this. Go over here, bonk. Now, you need to do a very weird maneuver up here that is not quite obvious. You need to hang on to the top of this. Come on. Like this. You hang on to the top of this, and it will make the block disappear. It's weird. I don't know why he did something so unintuitive in here, if this is still the first dungeon. Then again, this dungeon is, in my opinion, the hardest of them all. So, like, the hardest dungeon in the game, if you don't know what you're doing. Now, you come to this point, and that's going to be the item here, which allows you to throw the hat. Woo! Which allows you to use interact with strawmen, in case you didn't realize that. You can interact with strawmen. And it allows you to press buttons. Whenever you see Ocarina of Time style hookshot objects, they are in fact buttons in here. So you lowered the water level earlier by pressing one of those two buttons, actually the first button that I pressed, and you come down here and you find the blue boo. Now the goal of this dungeon is to kill all 4 big boos. That's the first one. You kill that big boo, no problem. You only need to kill them once, but they do respawn, which is why I'm not killing them right now, but I killed them before, so it counts. So after that, you come back out, and now that we've done one of the boos already, one of the 4 boos, and we also got the ability to interact with buttons. Now, and this is the important part, there is a way in which this dungeon can bug, and it did bug for me, and I think I heard a bunch of other people have this happen as well, where all the objects that are supposed to be interactable with buttons are not loaded in. So every object that is supposed to be interacted with a button is not loaded in. For example, this grate right here that you're supposed to lower might not be loaded in, and none of the other items are. So this grate up here might also not be loaded in. Now this red guy is probably inside of the wall. Yep, I don't know why this guy gets inside of the wall all the time. So if it is indeed loaded in, you can rest assured the dungeon should be fine, should be completable. If it isn't loaded in, you're gonna be a bit weirded out. We're watching this right now because for you, there weren't any grates there. There weren't any grates there. What? I really hate these guys. Okay, so there weren't any grates there, so, Of course it's better if the grates aren't there, that's cool, that's how you speedrun, cool, some cool stuff. But the problem is something different. The problem is that there is something that we need to interact with the button with, and that other thing is something that allows us to reach the red boo in this area. So, what you are intended to do, if everything loaded correctly, throw that over there, this appears, then you can climb up these, follow this path, and all the way up here, your reward for all of this will be the big red boo, and you need to kill this guy in order to complete the dungeon. Unless you do bomb clipping, but you're not doing that. What a great shot. So, what happens though if we don't have that? let's say everything didn't load correctly and this button, pressing this button does not put these boxes up. In that case, what you can try and do is you exit the entire dungeon, okay? After you exit the dungeon, you go somewhere else, go outside Kokiri Forest or whatever, and then you save the game with one of the save boxes. You take a save box, save the game, close the emulator, load the emulator back up, load the game up again, enter the game again. Don't use save states, just enter the game normally via the save file, and then go back into the dungeon, and hope that it works. If it doesn't, no worries, you can always reach the item. You can always reach the hat throw. No matter how buggy it is, you can always reach the hat. And once you've gotten the hat, you can just continue on and do the next dungeon. You can just do Fire Temple after that. You just do Water Temple. At this point, you don't need to complete the dungeon. The only reason why we're completing the rest of the dungeon is for the Grand Star. And you only need the Grand Star in order to go to Final Ganon Castle. But before that, you don't need to complete it at all. You can just go to Fire Temple now at this point. Just get the hat, go to Fire Temple, continue on with the game. And then, at some later point in this game, you can either try again, going in here, see if it loads. If it doesn't, this is what you do. Now, later on in the game, you're going to get an item, the Spin Gloves, which allows you to do this. And once we have those, we can actually do this jump without the boxes. Like that. Now, what exactly did I do? I didn't just do a triple jump into the wall, and then after the triple jump I did a wall kick, and then after the wall kick I did the spin. That's not exactly what happened, because I also did a firstie. I'm the firstie god, which every time I say I'm the firstie god, I fail at firsties, but whenever I don't say that I'm the firstie god, I get them all the time. So now that I said I'm not going to be able to get them anymore. Yep. So, what is a firstie? A firstie is when you wall jump or wall kick the very first frame that it is possible to do a first wall kick. So the very first frame you touch the wall, you instantly press the button, and you know that you've gotten a firstie if you jump off the wall with a lot larger speed than you usually do. Because when you do a wall kick, you conserve all of your momentum, and so you do it way faster. The reason why this is important is because, actually I don't know for certain, but I think this jump here is only possible if you do a firstie. Never mind, it's possible without a firstie. I'm lying to you. Do a firstie anyway. Doing a firstie is very stylish. Unless you don't get it. But it's because I said I'm the firstie god, and whenever I say that, I can't do it anymore. But yeah, you just do a triple jump over here. Firstie, woo! And then you do a spin over here, and then you got it. And you don't need the boxes with that. Now, there's some other stuff that's going to happen if we don't have boxes available to us. But don't worry, we can do this entire dungeon. Now you have the Spin Gloves without using the boxes. Now, I don't think you can do it without the Spin Gloves, because the unintended way that I just showed you, because I at least tried for a really long time and I just couldn't do it. Now for this, you're supposed to throw it up there, and there's a bunch of boxes here, but this is also possible like anything else without using the button, because you can just do a triple jump and it works. And this entire section over here doesn't even use that item, so it doesn't even use the doesn't even use the hat, so hat throw, so it doesn't even matter. At this point, this is the purple, the pink ghost. What the pink ghosts do is, this is a cool item, by the way. Try and find it. It's not that hard actually. It's the first optional item you'll probably find. Anyway, the pink ghosts, what they do is they stay on the same plane. Like, they don't go up and they don't go up and they don't go down. They just stay on the same plane. And you fight the pink big ghost. This one is a bit special in that you need to make it come out of its shell, make it attackable, and you do that by jumping down and then jumping up again. So now I'm gonna hit it, if it lets me. What? So you're gonna hit it, and usually it's not gonna be attackable, and you make it attackable by jumping down first. Of course, don't hit the lava. And you jump up again, and when you jump down and then jump up again, he's gonna become attackable. So for example, right now he's not attackable, so we jump down and we jump back up again, and look, he's attackable. So I'm gonna collect the star just because it heals me, even if you've already got the star before. Don't die. So this was the third ghost already. It's only one more ghost to go, and this ghost is actually really frustrating without the if you try and do it without the spin gloves and without the dungeon actually working correctly. Like if the dungeon is bugged and trying to do it without the spin gloves, this is the point in time where stuff is gonna go very sad. Nice. But it is possible, and the very first time I played the stage, I really did do it this way because I didn't know that it was bugged. I mean, I did wonder why none of the buttons seemed to do anything, but I was like, I don't know, there's no feedback on anything anyway. So, So this grade, of course, wasn't there for me because it bugged. So I go through here, oh nice, and you come to this place. Now, you're supposed to go all the way to the top of this, and there's a button right here. What this button does is it makes a bunch of boxes appear. Now, if the boxes are there, that's cool, you can come up here, do this, and then you throw it up there, use the other button, nice. But, and this is the amazing part, if you don't have access to these, just to these boxes because they don't work correctly, it's still possible to do it, and it's very annoying, but you can do a jump up here, then try and keep yourself up while it spins. The timing is always different, so you actually need to like try and figure out a good timing that just works for you, and then you need to do a wall kick there while holding back. I did it first try there, but trust me, I've done this a lot of times because holy shit was I annoyed by this. But you could also throw the cat at the switch from below, which makes even more boxes appear, and then the entire thing is trivial. Nice. Now, in order to actually make the green ghost appear, and this is the interesting part, even though all the buttons in the entire dungeon were bugged, these two buttons to spawn the green ghost actually worked. Like, the green ghost actually spawned from these buttons, even though supposedly it's bugged. So, I don't know. But yeah. So even if all the buttons are bugged, for some reason he will still spawn. So I took no fall damage there because I have something that makes it so I don't take fall damage. I have a lot of items. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them? Yeah. So you come over here, do the exact same thing on this side, nothing too special. Watch out for the piano, woo! Also, I hate red boosts. Good thing the red boosts are only in this dungeon for like, I mean like 5 of them. Otherwise I would be really fucking mad. Do that. And then you can fight the green boo. Green boo has another specialty, in that he splits whenever you hurt him. He splits 2 times, nice. That's that. Like I said, I don't need to kill him because I've already killed him before once, and they do respawn, but you don't need to kill him twice. So after all of that, after you've killed all 4 boos, this grate right here opens. Make sure not to take fall damage, unless you have the item for it. That would have still taken fall damage, whatever. Come down here, go into first person mode to get the camera to catch up, okay. And then it's time for the boss, which you can actually fight multiple times because I've already beat him, but you can still do it. Now he will pick a painting, and you're just gonna go after him into the painting as well. Come up here. It's gonna be attackable. It's gonna be really. This is a really weird spot, but don't worry, you can hit him. It's just annoying to hit him, but you know. Again, make sure to keep an eye on him because he can go into different paintings. He can and will go into different paintings. I mean, maybe you're getting very lucky and he just goes into the same painting all the time, but he shouldn't go into the same painting all the time. So once again, as soon as you're out, keep an eye on him, see which painting he goes into, and then follow him. You can only hurt him in here. And that's the boss. So yeah, that's Forest Temple, done the unintended and the intended way. So yeah, like I said, the intended way is not too difficult. I really hate this dungeon though. I think this dungeon, mostly because it bugs so easily. Anyway, so yeah, the intended way, like I said, is not too difficult to execute once you know what to do. The unintended way, like I said, if it doesn't work for you, get the hat throw ability, and then continue with the game, come back later when you have spin gloves, and then after you've gotten spin gloves, do the rest of the dungeon. You can also bomb clip, but we're not doing that. But yeah, if your name is Simple Flips, I mean, I haven't watched Simple Flips play this yet, because I'm playing this way faster than he is, because he's only playing it like 3 hours a day. What a gay idiot. Anyway, he hasn't done this yet, and he's probably gonna bomb clip this. If it bugs for him, I assume he's gonna bomb clip this. Actually, I need to make sure that next time he streams this, I'm in his chat so I can tell him if it bugs. If it doesn't bug, then whatever, it doesn't matter. But if it does bug, I need to make sure that I'm in his chat so I can tell him. Anyway, that was that. This is also how you leave the dungeon. Oh, nice. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the other dungeon videos. And the other dungeon videos are indeed gonna be my first playthroughs from my live stream. So they're not just gonna be straight up, here's how you beat the dungeon. There's gonna be me running around, figuring out how to beat the dungeon. Mostly because I don't want to record everything twice. I mean, I've already completed the dungeon, why not complete it twice? I just did it for Forest Dungeon because Forest Dungeon bugged for me and I had to do some really crazy stuff. So yeah, that was that. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. I was trying to dive into it as like a cool finish.